of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thanks everybody for coming. Guests or citizens sign the sign. Thanks, Brian. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Heather's out.
Roll call?
Yes.
All right. Shane Bailey,
Present.
Shayna Delaney,
Here.
Darren Howell,
Yep.
Donnie Miller,
Here.
Teresa Stratton,
Here.
Andy Thorpe,
Here.
Jane Barco,
Here.
Mayor Chip Minarella,
Here.
Attorney Chris Farrell,
Here.
Michelle Gagolski here, Heather Hess absent.
Thank you, Shelley. Everybody get a chance to read the minutes of the previous meeting?
Yeah, make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second it.
Darren made a motion to accept the minutes. Teresa seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Motion passes. The bill list.
No additions.
What was the woodland design for the park?
That's for the park.
Yes,
Okay.
that's for the park. We've already been reimbursed for that money.
Propane's for the shop? Was that for?
That's for both, yes. Is propane at the new building still? Yes.
At the new building?
Or no, just the two.
Just the
Garage
two,
and
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
So there's no heat at the new building, no?
No.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to pay the bill.
I'll second.
Randy made a motion to pay the bills. Shayna seconded it.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Motion passes. Police report, Fred.
Okay, police report for Waymart, month of January 2025. Let's see, disabled vehicles, we had one. Assisted other agencies were 3. And public assist for motorists was 1. Suspicious persons, we had 1. And written warnings were 1 for traffic. There's 9 ongoing investigations, and there are a total of 17 calls for the month.
I'd like to add to that, it was $293.72 collected on fines. And also, Fred, would you explain the council about the credit card, that state card? You know about it more than I
Oh, the fleet card.
do. The fleet card.
We're offered to use the fleet card, apply for the fleet card. I have the app filled out, I just can't sign it unless I get the okay. It'll allow us to charge our fuel, and we'll be able to go wherever we need it for the cheaper price for fuel. So it's run by the state, that WEX. I talked to a couple of the boroughs, and they use it, and they said it works out for them, because it's just all fuel, and nothing else. And then if an officer goes for a trip and he needs fuel, instead of putting it out of his charge card and waiting for reimbursement, we should use the card. The gas amount's going to be the same amount, it's just that we can hit other places for lower prices and make it more convenient for us too as well. Instead of just staying at this one, and because they have an agreement, not being able to go to that one if it's lower, you know what I'm saying? That's why.
It's very low off the corner now, have you noticed?
I see that, yeah.
But I think we want to be a little cautious with that. In the last month, I've seen them there with the tanks open 3 times in the last month. They're looking in the tanks and they're just, I'm just saying it as a word of caution in case there's a problem.
What are they looking for, you know?
I don't know.
I
It's just cheaper gas is usually from the bottom of the tank. Like when the hauler goes and picks up the gas to
Right.
bring it to a station, the cheaper stations are usually from the bottom of the tank. That's why it's cheaper gas. And at the bottom of the tank, you usually find junk, sediment. I don't know if that's what they were looking for. I don't know. I'm just saying I've seen it open.
I have a random question. Did you get a check in your door? The housing authority texted me, said he dropped the check off. But he said he put it in the police
When, do
drop-off.
you know when?
I think today.
I'll go look now, I didn't get a chance to look
Okay.
at it, okay?
Okay.
As soon as I'm done, I'll look at it and I'll bring it over, if
Okay.
it's in there. But all the things that do come in, they do drop off here, like, from the company, that NC, whatever, down in Trials,
Mhm.
for the building permits and that.
Mm-hmm.
They drop it off in there, and I just put them in the mayor's box, so he can give them to whoever he has to give them to.
Okay.
Okay, that, so we do get that stuff, yes.
Okay.
So I'll just look at it now.
Okay.
A little look,
Please, thank you.
okay?
Okay, the credit card. We just need one of us to sign it, or you just need the?
It's okay, I can sign it, that's all.
Okay.
Uh,
Any objections?
Nope.
There
I
was
may-
one before, believe it or not, we had two before with the old vehicles. I don't know where they went to once we got the new ones, because I wasn't involved in switching cars,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So we did have one before, it worked out well for us.
So we make a motion now,
Yeah.
or we have, okay.
Might as well.
I make a motion for the police department to apply for a fleet card for gas.
I will second it.
Teresa made a motion, Shane has seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Thanks, let me go look for that thing now.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on.
Fire company report.
He,
Nothing?
no, I
Okay.
sent him a text, I didn't get anything.
We
Okay.
were busy today anyways.
Yeah, they're open.
Yeah, they were busy today.
They did call them over there.
This is a report
Oh.
from the ambulance corps for this month. The month of January, there were 70 dispatches. They responded 57 times. They were unavailable 13 times. 33 of the calls were in Waymart Borough, with 6 going to mutual aid.
Thanks, Shane.
I have, he's typing it right now.
Oh, okay. We'll circle back. Mayor?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Zoning officer?
Yeah, I have 5 811s, 2 meetings with Rob Grimm, a couple zoning meetings, and a couple of meetings with the borough. Met with Jane. Correspondence with Chris for quality of life and another hearing possibly. So that's pretty much it. I had a slow month, not much going on.
What was the first one you said? 811? Is that what you said?
811
Oh,
calls.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I handle those. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's when I get an email that says somebody's digging a hole. And then I have to go see what they're digging for. Most of the time it's a telephone pole, but then sometimes it's a baseball field. Or
Okay.
if somebody is trying to put a foundation in,
Mhm.
without getting permits, I gotta go look for shops.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's why I deal with those.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. Any questions for Joe?
Yeah, Joe, did they tell you about the time clock that Teresa got?
Yeah, I can't.
Oh yeah, Joe and I talked about it. It's tough for him because he fields a lot of phone calls at home, and then he runs over. So it would be tough for him to take a phone call over where he lives, run over here, clock in for the phone call, and then drive home. So I don't really know how that works out.
Well, then you better change the motion that you have in the minutes. Because you said all part-time employees have to punch.
I mean, I guess when you know you're coming over, but a lot of times he'll just get a phone call or an email and he's just fielding that stuff at home.
Sometimes too, excuse me, sometimes, like when we go to training,
Mm-hmm.
we can't just,
Right.
waste time coming up here. You know, it costs more if we come up here,
No,
punch
and
in,
that's understandable.
and go to training, and then come back and punch out. It'll be more money paid out, so we just write it down on the thing and say, well, it's off-site.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to
Yeah.
be flexible with stuff like that, I think.
When I write my NOVs, I do it at my house.
Mhm.
I come over
Right.
and do it. I don't use
Yeah,
a computer, I
you
use
don't
my
have an office
computer,
here.
my own office,
Mhm.
so that's not feasible.
Right. Police or fire?
Got 30 calls. He's out of town right now getting the new tanker, and it'll be in service in 2 weeks. And that's all. I do know they were up in We did get called to Starlight this morning to help with that fire.
Wow, okay.
And that was a part of, I believe we were part of the third alarm. Because it was like 2 minutes to 9 when we got called out.
Busy.
Yeah.
Solicitor's report.
Nothing to report, but I would just ask for permission to go after the correspondence and guest and citizens comments that I jumped the line a little bit as we consider the proposed solar farm application.
Yes, we can do that. Correspondence.
I just have one little thing here. Got our nice little plaque from the PA Association of Boroughs. They want to thank us for our membership, and this is a small token of their appreciation. So, that's all I have.
Where is that? Did I take that?
Well, you know what else we should read too? That letter from. There was a letter from an attorney. But we did get that letter from. Oh, bear with me. Okay, Wayne County Housing Authority. Gravity Plains Apartments. Dear Shane, as you're aware, the Housing Authority owns Gravity Plain Apartments, and we also own Baker Street Apartments in Hawley. Recently, the Hawley Borough reached out to me regarding an increase in annual pilot payment. The pilot payment is a formula which is mandated by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. I reviewed Hawley Borough's request with our HUD auditor, and after an examination, the authority is and has been paying the maximum amount for both Hawley and Waymart Borough. I took the matter one step further and presented the request to our board at the December 9, 2024 board meeting. After a discussion, the decision was made to contribute $5,000 in addition to the pilot payment to both Hawley and Waymart boroughs. We can both agree that public safety is very important, and the authority values and appreciates our continued partnership with both boroughs. The authority understands budget constraints and the rising costs to operate on a day-to-day basis. Our board felt that the $5,000 contribution can be best utilized by the Borough Police Department to offset rising costs and to help maintain public safety for the residents of Gravity Plain Apartments and Waymart Borough. Please let me know if we may be of any further assistance. Sincerely, Joseph Blaskowitz, Executive Director, CEO. So that was the check that Fred just brought out.
That's on top of the 10?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty nice. Very nice.
And
Do they have any business coming before Borough Council anytime soon?
yes,
Supposed to be here this month, I don't know. They keep telling me every month they're coming.
I have one more letter from Attorney Anthony Waldron. Dear Borough Council, I'm writing to you on behalf of my client, Alarand Recovery Holdings LLC, with regard to the invoice dated Jan 4, 2025 that I received a couple weeks ago. I was surprised that my client is being billed $34,416.65 for the conditional use process, and I've advised my client not to pay it. I find it hard to believe that your legal advisors told you this was appropriate, as the law in PA that governs zoning procedure, the municipality's planning code, makes it clear what can be charged and what cannot. That law prohibits charging for legal fees and limits the reimbursement for the stenographer's appearance fee to 1/2 of those charges. As for the conditional use application fee, my letter of April 12, 24 to the borough confirmed that the application fee was $1,000. April 20, wasn't it changed?
It was changed.
That was changed in 23.
Okay, which was paid, and that fee was confirmed at the beginning of the first hearing night on April 30, 24. The PA courts have ruled that an application fee can be charged provided it is reasonably related to the service rendered. That excludes attorney fees, but the fee can cover the public notice advertisement. So that charge is included in the application fee. My client will certainly pay the 1/2 portion of the stenographer's appearance fees, but I need to see the statements for those appearances. ARH cannot be charged for any transcripts. Please send that invoice or invoices from Barbara Kazier for the appearance fees, and I will see that ARH pays its 1/2 share. Very truly yours, Anthony Waldron.
He's right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Is that it?
How about the
I'll get that in
the email? Did you read the email today?
About the roads? Yeah, yeah. So we had another concern, but the roads are pretty much dry now.
And not only that, I took a ride and
Yeah.
they're covered by trees.
Right. And we are taking steps to be able to use bulk salt, so we can, because I mean, we were using bagged salt. To throw 1,050-pound bags up onto the salt spreader is really kind of a pain, so we switched over to the sacks of salt, but now we have a material shed where we can put material in it and we put it on the roads. We're not there yet, that'll be done in the spring.
I think we should apply under the state program to buy tonnage of the salt.
Right.
And they have a program, and I can't think of the name of it now.
Co-stars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Co-stars.
That's the one. Okay. Yeah, so that'll be, we'll have the best roads in the town.
And
Okay.
is the spreader okay? Did
Yeah,
you talk
yeah,
to
yeah,
Leroy?
It is okay.
Did you see the pile?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Something got stuck.
I had a clump in it.
Yeah.
Did you see the pile that I'm talking
It gave
about?
clumps in it.
Oh, okay.
Let it freeze.
So we are, any guests and citizens want to speak? No? Okay, so we're gonna bump up the unfinished business to now. Any objections? Okay, and the unfinished business is a motion to act on proposed solar farm. So we need a motion.
No, not
Oh.
yet. No, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Some work to be done. All right, we're on the record. This is a continuation of the hearings that we've had based on the conditional use permit application submitted by Belmont Turnpike Solar Partners LLC and Solar Renewable Energy LLC. Today's February 11th, 2025. I'd like to state for the record that proper notice of this continuation of the hearing was given in the Tri-County Independent. I'm going to read that notice, public notice. Notice is hereby given at the regularly scheduled monthly meeting of the Waymart Borough Council, February 11, 2025 meeting. A motion will be entertained to vote on the proposed solar farm located at 198 Belmont Turnpike, Waymart, Pennsylvania. That was advertised approximately 2 weeks ago. Tonight, council will vote on the application. I'd like to state for the record that an executive session was held recently. Deliberations took place. No official action was taken. Based on the deliberations, I drafted proposed conditions on the project for approval. I spoke with the attorney for the applicant today. I went over these conditions with him. He agrees with them. They do not object to them. No promises were made to him that they will pass tonight. I will read the conditions. After I read the conditions, everybody on Borough Council will vote, and then we'll act accordingly afterwards. I'd also like to state for the record that after the last hearing, there was a 7-day period that was left open for anybody else to submit evidence. No interveners submitted any evidence. The applicant did provide what we had requested, which was how much the appraisal expert was paid. He was paid between $6,000 and $7,000 for his work giving the opinion. I'm going to read the proposed conditions. These are conditions that would be put on the project. In other words, the the application would be granted with these conditions. Okay? So here we go. Number 1. The conditional use application submitted by Belmont Turnpike Solar Partners, LLC, Solar Renewable Energy, LLC, hereinafter applicant, is approved, consistent with the original application and all addendum and testimony of record. The contents of same are incorporated hereon by reference thereto. At the end of this, I'm going to ask that the President of the Borough Council entertain a motion to approve this or deny. Number 2, a conditional use is granted to applicant for the use of the premises located at 198 Belmont Turnpike, Waymart, Pennsylvania, tax parcel 28-0-0241-046 and 28-0-0241-0044, Linda Drake's property, as depicted in maps presented by the applicant. Number 3, the grant of conditional use is intended for the applicant but is transferable or assignable under the same conditions contained herein. Number 4, any construction relative hereto shall be submitted to Waymart Borough and/or its designee for approval. Number 5, no construction of any kind shall be initiated by the applicant without first obtaining full and complete approval to proceed with the same from Waymart Borough. Number 6, any construction shall comply with any and all applicable building codes. Number 7, construction of any additional improvements on the subject property shall require full and complete review by Waymart Borough and upon eventual borough approval. Number 8, the perimeter of the solar panels shall be fenced with an effective pedestrian barrier to limit any unauthorized access into the property. Number 9, a fence plan shall be submitted to the borough for review and approval. Number 10, the conditional use is approved only for a solar farm pursuant to the proposal of applicant. Number 11, applicant shall acquire and obtain any and all necessary federal, state, or county permits and licenses to conduct the use approved hereby. Number 12, copies of any and all current licenses and/or permits secured by applicant shall be provided to Waymart Borough. Number 13, renewal of any such licenses and/or permits shall be timely provided to Waymart Borough. Number 14, copies of any and all inspection reports shall be immediately provided to Waymart Borough. Number 15, there shall be no parking on Pennsylvania Route 296, also known as Belmont Turnpike, by the property. Number 16, applicant shall secure any and all necessary driveway and/or highway occupancy permits from the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Number 17, the approved use shall not involve any sewage disposal. Number 18, any proposed lighting plan shall be submitted to and approved by the borough. Number 19, any proposed signage shall comply with signage regulations of the Waymart Borough ordinances and/or any other applicable Waymart Borough regulations and approved by the borough. Number 20, within 30 days of the date of this approval, applicant shall confer with the borough engineer and calculate a decommission cost to decommission the project and remove any and all solar collectors and any and all other improvements on the subject property related to the solar farm. Number 21, once calculated, a bond or similar security shall be posted with the borough to cover the decommission cost within 60 days of the date of commercial operation. Number 22, in the event that applicant and the borough cannot agree on a decommission amount, both parties shall secure an expert in such matters, obtain a cost from each, and use the average of both determinations for the decommission security amount. Number 23, the decommissioned security shall be reviewed every 10 years and adjusted accordingly. Number 24, the use approval is conditioned on full and complete approval of any and all of the conditions outlined herein. Number 25, the use approval is limited to the proposed use and is not to be construed as review and/or approval of any land development plan or any other submissions, if any other such submissions are deemed necessary. Number 26, applicant shall submit and secure approval of a land development plan consistent with the borough's subdivision and land development ordinance. Number 27, applicant shall comply with any and all conditions imposed hereby before any use permit and/or occupancy permit is issued. Number 28, nothing herein shall be construed as anything more than approval of the conditional use requested by applicant, under and subject to any and all other further and required submissions and/or approvals as may be applicable. Number 29, no certificate of use or certificate of occupancy shall be issued by the Waymart Borough Zoning Department or its designee unless and/or until all conditions imposed hereby have been satisfied by the applicant. Number 30, no building or construction permit shall be issued until all conditions imposed hereby have been satisfied by applicant. Number 31, Waymart Borough retains the exclusive authority to engage an engineer and/or similar consultant to review and approve any of the submission requirements provided for herein. Number 32, any and all professional fees of Waymart Borough shall be borne by the applicant. Number 33, any modification of the use approval hereby or any sale, lease, or sublet of the premises shall be bound under these conditions. Number 34, nothing herein shall be construed as anything more than approval of the conditional use requested by applicant under and subject to any and all other further and required submissions and or approvals as may be applicable. Number 35, the conditional use approval shall automatically expire 2 years from the date of this approval if no site development or construction as may be approved consistent herewith has taken place, or the use is not otherwise progressing in terms of the applicant. Number 36, assignees, successors in interest of any kind, or designees of any type of applicant are bound by these conditions. Number 37, applicant shall put shrubbery along the entire southern and western borders of the solar farm, in parentheses, facing 296 and along the high side of the property facing the former nursing home, end parentheses, of the solar panels so as to shield the view of the panels from neighbors. Said vegetative screening shall be along the perimeter of the solar panel fencing, a certain number of feet from the fence line as determined by Waymart Borough. There shall be no screening along the property lines. The vegetative screening shall be intended to reasonably shield the view of the solar panels from neighbors. The initial trees or shrubs shall be 4 to 6 feet tall minimum. Number 38, vegetative shielding shall not be placed along or near the property lines that may interfere with views of the rolling countryside by neighbors, and the distance shall be at the discretion of Waymart Borough. Number 39, applicant shall make an initial payment of $25,000 to Waymart Borough as part of a community host agreement when the project becomes operational, and an annual payment of $15,000 shall be paid by applicant each year on the anniversary of the operational date as part of the community host agreement. The spirit of this agreement shall always survive as long as the project is operational and despite any law or deficient language contrary to this clause in its present language. Number 40, any violation of these conditions for any reason absolutely entitles the borough to an injunction halting operation of the solar farm until such time as the issue is determined by the courts. Number 41, applicant and homeowner agree that this solar farm cannot be expanded in the future. Number 42, applicant and homeowner agree that they will not object to the portion of the Drake's property containing the solar farm being rezoned as industrial in the future, while the remaining portion of the back of the property shall remain rural residential zoned. The industrial zone will expand the present industrial zone under the Waymart zoning regulations and zoning map. Number 43, applicant and homeowner agree that no other commercial or industrial businesses may operate on the Drake property except that the property can be used for agricultural purposes now and in the future. This conditional use approval was based on the recommendation of the Waymart Planning Board. Is that correct, gentlemen? John and Wayne? You both answered in the affirmative. And it would read, as approved by a majority vote of the Waymart Borough Council this blank day of February 2025, I would ask the President of the Borough Council to entertain a motion to approve the conditional use permit application filed by Belmont Turnpike Solar Partners LLC and Solar Renewable Energy LLC, subject to the conditions as stated and read into the record. Mr. President.
Okay, so we'll do a roll call. Yeah, the only one would be Darren wouldn't be voting.
Okay.
Okay,
President Bailey?
so, well, we have to make a motion first.
I'm new at this.
Training day.
Numbers, not letters.
Yeah. Okay, so can we make a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion that the proposed solar farm located at 198 Belmont Turnpike in Waymart be approved for conditional use with the stipulations as listed, the 43 stipulations listed as our attorney has stated, Attorney Farrell.
44.
44,
Thank you.
I lost.
Okay.
And that we should adopt this motion
Subject to all conditions.
subject to all conditions, everything.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Jane,
I'll second it.
seconded by Teresa.
Are we doing a roll call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and we'll have Shelley do a roll call.
President Bailey,
Yes.
Vice President Barco,
Yes.
Donald Miller,
Yes.
Teresa Stratton,
Yes.
Randy Thorpe,
Yes.
Shayna Delaney.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Oh, nays? Abstentions? Okay, motion passes.
Okay, we're off the record. And with that, I have the conditions, if it can be signed by Borough President and Borough Secretary. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, my boys are playing for Holy Cross versus Western Wayne, so I'm going to exit stage right.
Where they
Wish
playing?
you all a good night at Western Wayne,
Oh,
right down the
that's-
street.
oh, right.
Heather's not here tonight, Chris. Do you want
It doesn't matter who wants to sign it.
to have Jane come sign it?
Yeah,
Okay,
Jake can
fine.
sign it.
Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
thanks.
And I don't know who you wish good luck with.
Yes, good luck.
Thanks. You're rooting against your home team.
I know, that's why I said I don't know who before.
It's okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh,
Good
Chris,
luck
you
in
need this?
both ways.
You want it?
No, leave it here and I'll get it tomorrow.
All right, committee reports. Jane.
I'm starting off with the Wayside Park update. Unfortunately, we did not get the second grant, the matching grant. And Jason Wood and I have conferred on it. Unfortunately, he's away this week. I asked him if he could come, but he and his family are away on vacation. I would recommend, he says, that we move forward and the borough direct us to conduct the pre-application meeting with the Conservation District. Gather the Co-Stars playground order and obtain zoning and building permits. We can then move to bid later this spring, I would say around April the 15th. Because you did not receive funding for Phase 2 and the cost of items, I do not believe you will have the money to design or build the lighting system with this round. As a result, we have not added it to the plans. You have received $154,000 in total, and minus our professional service contract is $22,000. That means you have $132,500 to build the parking lot, meet the specifications for the handicap and the playground. The only alternative would be to reapply to GTRP, which is the Greenways Trail, and wait a year for the results, or ask John Fritz, don't say I misspelled his name, I said it wrong, for more monies. I think you should reapply to GTRP, but bid this portion of the work out. Let me know your preference though. We can share our plans in a couple of weeks, once we have had them updated from the survey and the specifications completed. Thank you, Jason M. Wood, Woodland Design Associates. So my question was to him, if we went ahead and did Phase 1, then what could we use as a matching for Phase 2? Because we will have spent it already, what we had from Phase 1, so we cannot use it for a match. And so, until that question is answered, I feel that we should put this off and at this time, not make a decision on whether we're going to do Phase 1 until we get a definitive answer whether we can use that to make it as a match. Now, matches are required for almost every grant. And you might say, oh, you know, applying the second time, how much more chance would we have? I'd like to point out that the room in the back, the air conditioning, the tables you're sitting at, I had to apply 3 times before we were funded. So I would like you to consider at this time, not making a decision until we confer with Mr. Wood and see if this puts us in any jeopardy for reapplying for the second loan. I hope you all understand, most of you have been in the meetings most of the time, so you know that all these are very slow processes and it always takes time. So as I said on your agenda, we need a motion to either to start the project, to apply for extra funding, or to do both. And I would like to personally recommend that we hold off, get a definitive answer on whether we're going to have a chance for more funding. We're not under any force to get Wayside Park done. You know, lots of times, it's been years since 1986 when we got the park. It's been years. We've upgraded it once with what we have there, and we're not under any umbrella that we have to immediately go forward. So I'd like some people to speak up on this and what you feel that we should do.
I think it would be nice to have the park upgraded for our 200th anniversary, which is what, next year?
Yes.
So right now we have 120.
To 250th. It's
Of the borough.
Borough's 175,
But US.
but the US is 250.
I think it would be nice to start it so that we could have it done for,
But then would it jeopardize us for the second step? I don't know.
What is the projected total that we want to do for the whole park? Do we have like a projected of what's going to cost for everything we want to do?
Yeah, we do, but I don't have the paper with me. It's
We have roughly
370.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I can't say it off the top of my head.
So we couldn't even do half of what's.
Well, no, because the second grant was higher in amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So for the second phase, you're thinking if we hold off on the project, you're thinking we can use some of the grant money for the match for the
Yes.
second portion?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd have to.
when you spend the money, then you can't use it for a match.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in the position, we had $50,000, remember, as part of our match
Mm-hmm.
that came from the American Rescue money. But we're not going to be in this position
Mm-hmm.
because we're not going to get monies like that again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would like at least Jason to answer that question and get his input on this.
Mm-hmm.
If we could either table it until we get him here and,
Mm-hmm.
or whether you want to go forward.
Joe's got a question.
I know it's not my business, I'm not a resident, but my question is, when you got that grant money,
Yes,
is there a deadline you have to spend it or you lose it?
yes.
When's the deadline?
Well, the deadline is usually at least 18 months, and then you can apply like we did.
For extension?
For extension like we did at the Wilson Field.
All right.
And
No,
we-
I'm just asking, because I don't want you to lose the money altogether.
We got extended another whole year for the Wilson Field. So that is, you know, it's very common for people to ask for extension.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just
Oh,
asking.
yeah.
And what's the second phase of the amount
The
of the grant
second phase
they
is,
were trying to get?
because the fact in the first phase, we spent so much for the handicapped sidewalks and the handicapped seating and everything. The second part is like we'll put the pavilion in for the seniors, to put in different things for the older children, and to put in a proper lighting for the whole area there. And that was all outlined in the second half.
oh, we've got light poles for that already.
Yeah.
True fact?
Well, that's not what we're going to put in.
So we're trying to get another 200,000 roughly for the second phase?
It's more than that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any rush. So when would we know? And when do you have to apply for the second portion?
He is going to, the next round is opening up right now.
Okay.
See, they call them rounds.
So we have to give them, so we do have to give them an answer.
No, we don't have to give an answer. We
Okay.
have a whole year to apply.
Oh, so we won't know if we got this second round until 26?
Yes.
Okay.
And would Mr. Wood have an answer for your questions for him by next meeting?
Well, yes. It just, it was bad timing. I didn't realize he was going away, and I was sick myself, and I denied.
And if we apply again and get denied, what am I gonna do then?
Well, go forward then, or reply again. We're not under any hatchet to get this done, you know?
No, but there's people in the community that wanna know when the park is gonna be done.
It's like everything, Teresa. Under grants, it could be a year, it could be 2 years.
Okay,
it
but
could be 3 years.
there's money available that we could actually start and do something. There's people in the community that wanna know when the park is going to be upgraded. There's not enough swings, there's stuff there that's broke that they can't use. They wanna be able to go to the park and use things, and this has been going on for, how many years now? 5, Michelle was still here. So it's probably what, 6 years? 5, 6
Yeah,
years?
the first phase is.
You know, the community wants to know when the park is gonna be
There's a
started.
parking lot and a handicapped sidewalks,
Yeah.
and we're never even gonna get to the point of some of this equipment.
next meeting, hear from.
Yeah, let's hear from Jason
Let's hear
first.
what he has to say.
And this might be a stupid question, we can't do any sort of fundraising of any sort
Oh, you can do.
to
fun.
supplement some of that money?
Oh, yes, you can.
Okay.
You can, but, you know, we ask a lot of people to donate to the field, and we have a big pot of money for the field. Are you gonna ask the same people again that already donated?
No, I was just, didn't know if we could do it, if
Oh,
we're doing
yeah,
grants,
you
if
can
we
do
could do it.
that.
Okay.
And that's how we got most of our matching for most of the grants.
Would it be another 50,000 we have to come up with to
No,
apply?
that's why I said, we can't come up with a 50,000 because we can't have the rescue money.
But is that what it'll be, roughly, to
No,
apply?
no, but, so if you apply for 200,000,
Mhm.
you've got to come up with a matching of almost $100,000. We can't, we have no, the only way we can match is to match the first grant with the second grant.
Right. Okay, Yeah.
I know it's complicated.
No, it makes sense.
You know,
makes sense. Yeah.
it's
so-
just the way the state does it, you know?
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know like over in the valley, they got in real trouble because they spent some of the money
Mhm.
on their playground over there. And then when it came time to pay for it, the state refused to pay for it because they already had it done.
Mhm.
So,
Okay. Well, should we sit on it?
Let me see.
Next meeting.
okay.
Okay.
One more month and we'll see.
Sounds good. Is that it, Jane?
No,
Should have known.
Shane and I have been working on, getting, the material shed done and also sort of, what has to be done there is just the paving, right?
Right.
That'll be it, and then we can finish that up. We also got a call concerning, the, contract for the, ambulance corps, and so he says both signatures have been successfully logged, and the contract is now within our legal office for execution. I'll be in touch with a copy of the executed contract in a couple of weeks. Once the process is completed, no further action is required from Waymart Borough at this time. Though if you have not done so, you may wish to draft the cooperation agreement with Cottage Host Company, as this will be required when you file for reimbursement. And last time that when we got the 2 life packs, the last time, we got the agreement from them, so it'll be just a recopy of the agreement we already have with them. So then that'll finish up with that grant. So as soon as we get that done, then we will be receiving the money for both those grants.
What contract are we signing with you?
The what?
You said that we're talking about a contract with the
Yeah.
college?
Yes,
No, we got a grant for life packs.
for life packs.
Yep, and they'll.
See, we can apply for any organization here in Waymart as long as it goes through the borough. But it has to go through the borough to get any of these different things, these perks that the state has. And so that's where we are right now, and the quality of life, I'm working on that right now to do all the problems or any of the find out any of the things that might have to be brought up to Waymart Borough. But I've been very sick, and I'm sorry, I didn't do anything all week. I've been in bed most of the time. So, that's that, as they say. I think that's all.
Good?
Good.
Okay. Budget and finance, Teresa.
No, I just have old business. Otherwise, nothing.
Oh, okay. What were you were gonna say something before? Is that what you were? before?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
I didn't know if you were gonna go back to it or, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna circle back. Streets and roads, Shane, I'll have a list together here once the roads are all cleared off for a paving recommendation. I talked to Leroy about it a little bit. And that's it. Parks and Rec, Shayna.
Nothing at this time, probably something next month, for when it, for our Easter celebration. I haven't met with Michelle yet to see what we're doing, but we'll once again try to.
Shana, would you ever be available to go with me to Homestead to meet with Jason?
You give me a time and place. If I'm not traveling for work, yeah, I could probably figure something out.
That'd probably be the easiest way.
Yeah. So once I meet with Michelle and we have an idea for Easter, but Easter's late this year, so we have a little bit of time. So that's all. That's it.
Wonderful. Utilities, Don. Safety, Darren. Purchasing, Randy. Unfinished business.
Well, I think we need to purchase some paper
Oh, yeah.
and some
We should probably do
staples
that.
and some other things.
Oh, garbage bags too.
Garbage bag. We gotta make a whole list. We're running out of a lot of stuff. So please tell me after, and I'll write it down, and I'll ask Heather if she agrees for me to order it like I did in the past. Quill, yeah.
Okay. What'd you have, Teresa, for unfinished?
We had talked about the International Property Maintenance Code a couple months ago. Chris was gonna, he's not here to ask him if he did a resolution or if everybody's read it yet. What we're gonna, it just kind of fell on the wayside a little bit. So just wondering what we're gonna do there.
I don't know, have you talked to him at all, Joe, recently?
I talked to him about the quality of life, and I talked to him about the possible zoning hearing. We have to go over that together. So when I get with him, I'll ask him about that.
Yeah, he was gonna put something together for us.
Mm-hmm.
You have to adopt it by ordinance, not resolution.
Okay.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Anybody else, unfinished business?
I just have one thing. Donnie, the street light is still out on South Street.
The two of them.
Oh, I think I know the third too. Those
And
things are
there's
headed.
one over on Myrtle, and there's one on Route 6. There's all.
Seems like there was one on Carbon Hill Road. There's one out on Myrtle. Where?
New business? None? A motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Teresa made a motion.
I'll second it.
Shane seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Dark.
No, I get it. I get it. I'm
Yeah.
just making